You're watching Team Unlimited episode number 6, Future Vision with Stephen Thompson, Zilis CEO.
I want to welcome everyone to the elevation call, the last elevation call of the year of 2020. We were just talking about this is a memorable year, good or bad. We've had some very impactful things happen. And tonight we're super excited that you guys are joining us. Some of you guys brand new, some of you guests. Some of you guys have been around for a little while. An old timer in this business has been around for 3 years. So
that's right.
Just so you know, right, Angela? We've got a couple of old timers on the line tonight.
Experienced timers, not old timers.
Experienced timers, yeah. We're kind of an old
We're going to need to change that colloquialism, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. Anyway, it's all good.
But we hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. We just literally drove in from our excellent adventure.
It was a great trip to Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Got to spend time with our family there, my 2 boys. And so it's great to be back with you guys. We're really, really excited about being on this call and being able to really, one more time, being able to put our finger on the pulse of Zilis.
Yeah. So let's remind everyone what this call is and kind of the history of it real quick and what it's about, especially for anyone new or maybe folks who hadn't been on a while and you've tuned in here and the name is different. So Elevation Call was originally Lisa's leadership gathering that started in her home in Indiana several years, 3 years ago, when she started building a team in Evansville, which is where she lived. And on Sunday nights, we'd just get together and do training on how to contact people, how to share your story, just training on how we build business and so forth, encouragement to one another. And then as the team grew and spread out to other states, that moved to cities and states, that became a phone call, a conference call. Lisa would do training or bring in people to do training for that hour. And then 2 years ago, long before COVID, Lisa and I jumped on and started learning how to do Zoom. And we created a Zoom version of the Jeep call, which many of you have been on each week and have built your teams and learned from that. Then back about 3 months ago, I guess it was, we decided to kind of rebrand this call because a number of people thought that this was really kind of confused with the title of Jeep, meaning thinking it's only about getting a Jeep, or it's only for people who've earned a Jeep with Zilis, earned the rank of area ambassador and Stephen Thompson paying for their Jeep. And people thought they couldn't be on the call. So we really have made it more about encouraging people and taking us from the point that you are and elevating the growth of your business. So we've decided to call it the Elevation Call. And so it really is to give some basic overview, the basics of the business and structure, and then also to have special guests on from time to time, some of our leaders. And also last week was honestly one of the very best ever Jeep calls and elevation calls, because you ambassadors really took, our team really took the lead in that call as you took some coaching and so forth. So, and led in the coaching last week. So it's about raising your belief, elevating your skill, elevating your momentum, elevating your activity, your understanding. And tonight, we believe it will be about elevating your vision with our special guest. So Lisa, why don't you go ahead?
Well, yeah. And so before we introduce our special guest, who is adored for really great reasons, it's Zilis, we want to just shout out.
Let's do our leadership call.
Our leadership top 25. We're so proud of so many of you guys who have really overcome significant obstacles to share the story of Zilis.
So let's just recognize those who are on the top 25. We do this every week. And so on this team, at number 24 from Michigan, Dr. Cynthia Wiggins. At number 18, Laura McClendon from Texas. At number 10, as always, the Fergusons are always somewhere on the board. There she is right there. Yeah, I see you. Dr. Jim and Dr. Linda Ferguson out of Kentucky at number 10. Really close to them in many ways. Number 9 is Dr. Steve and Jenny Todd out of Florida. Number 5, Lorena and Jean Workmeister, double winners, $100. They're taking Stephen's money right and left. $100 winners, the Workmeisters are. We're really proud of them at number 5. And then moving up to number 3 this week for the month is Kristen and Eric Whelan out of Georgia. So we're really, really proud of our team. And by the way, we just noticed Dr. Sal jumped into the top 25 for the year on the board this week. So anyway, congratulations to all of you. Really proud of you. That's what it's about. New blood, new enrollments, and many, many others of you are doing that. We also want to do a quick shout out to Lori and George. I think they're calling in. They're in tonight on the call from California. Maybe even have a special guest like a son or something on the call. So yeah, it's really cool. All right.
And so you guys know, because we told you in advance, that we are so honored to have our CEO and founder, Stephen Thompson, on the line tonight. And it's so fun for us that he is willing to share his time with us. But I have to tell you guys, my journey started over 3 years ago. I was totally skeptical about another business venture because I'd been in this industry for a number of years and I'd heard all the promises and I never was able to really make any kind of significant income. 13 years is what I had really worked to achieve any kind of success. And what happened is that I got a phone call from a holistic dentist talking about CBD. I have a youngest son who has struggled pharmaceutical treatment of brain health issues, who was willing to try it. And literally in 3 days, our lives changed. But it was very early in the rollout of CBD. It was before the Farm Bill in Indiana. And we had legal battles and battles with our team. And in those early days, it was Stephen Thompson who really showed up in my life and in our business in very profound ways.
And not just from his office or home in Argyle, but literally.
He actually came. And so we actually have been able to spend time with him on the road, more than one CEO tour. This is truly a man who not only has a deep vision and generosity, but he is one of the hardest working people I know. And so Hal, you've had the opportunity as well to travel with him on the CEO
I appreciate Stephen's heart. I appreciate his vision. I appreciate his willingness to work with us. He listens to us. He listens to the field. He knows what to do. He has brought on an incredible corporate staff over the last year. As many people were retracting, companies rolling back, Stephen was moving forward. You know, we want him to talk as much as possible, but we ought to, obviously tonight, but we just want to say how much we appreciate Stephen and the things that he's done. We could go on and on.
Well, he has an amazing bio, but you guys just Google Stephen Thompson, CEO of Zilis. But we want to hear from him tonight. So Stephen, with no further ado, will you join us on the line?
I would love that. Thank you so much. And hey guys, can we kick it off tonight by giving Hal and Lisa an incredible round of applause for being such extraordinary leaders? I love this. Look at that, guys. Isn't that awesome?
I'm going to give it to Lisa for sure. Thank you.
Amazing. I mean, you know, when you think about the times that we're in right now, you know, they really are unprecedented, and the world needs more people like Hal and Lisa. And so I want you guys to know, from my seat, if you will, my vantage point, I want you to know how much I appreciate you guys for just being a beacon of light, you know, just continuing to share and to put the light of hope in front of your team. And I appreciate you for doing that, because, you know, if we all pay attention to the news and to everything else that's out there, right, the media wants to make us feel all, you know, kind of doom and gloom and all that kind of thing. And the world, again, needs more people like Hal and Lisa that are willing to share a message of hope, because, guys, you know, there is tremendous hope. I mean, listen, we're all ready to leave 2020 in the rearview mirror. Is that fair? Right? I mean, it's been a crazy year. You know what's wild about it? I think about when we left Springfest in Vegas, and we had a bunch of our staff that were on the plane flying back to Dallas. I was so excited, right? I mean, none of us had any idea what was to come, and we actually had a tour through Arkansas and Tennessee and whatnot the next week, and we went out, we did our thing, and next thing you know, we're all locked down and that sort of thing. So it's been a crazy year. I think we all have learned a lot. I know I certainly have. And one of the things that I can tell you that I come out of 2020 with is very much an attitude of gratitude. I am extraordinarily thankful for Zilis. I'm thankful for our employees, our leaders, our ambassadors, the products, the science, just everything this company has been able to create. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm more excited about the future than I probably ever have been. And I say that, it may sound a little cliche-ish, but I think we can all appreciate, having gone through this last year, sometimes in life, we have to, the way that we're wired, we have to sometimes experience some adversity and some challenges and whatnot to really realize what's important to us. And so I just want you guys to know, as far as I go in the chair that I sit in, I am incredibly grateful to be the CEO of Zilis, and I don't take it lightly. This is a calling. And so anyway, I'm excited to be here and fired up to have a chance to share. So Hal and Lisa, you guys wanted to talk a little bit about the vision of Zilis and where it's headed. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we think about the company, I had this conversation day before yesterday with Joy Beckerman, who runs regulatory affairs for the company. We've gone through this entire, I don't know how to explain. It's almost been this entire process that we've moved through as a company. We got into CBD early, and coming out of health and wellness, when I heard about CBD, I thought two things. Number one, there's no way a product can do all that. That's the first thing I thought. And number two, I thought, yeah, this is going to be just like any other, thing that we might see in wellness, because I've been around 20 years in health and wellness, and I've seen a lot, and many of you have as well, coming out of natural, type medical backgrounds like Jim and Linda and chiropractic care, things like that. And I quickly began to realize, no, this is not normal. Like what we're experiencing, the stories that people are sharing, this is real. So we kept diving further and further in. And we're battling a lot. You mentioned it, Lisa, all the regulatory issues and the government issues and the laws. And I mean, we went through so many crazy times. I never would have, if you'd have told me, here's the thing, if you would have told me going in what we would have dealt with in CBD, I still would have done it because that's my nature, but I might have taken a pause, and thought, okay, are we really ready to go into this battle, if you will? But thankfully we did. It's been an unbelievable journey. And now here we are on the precipice of birthing and unbridling, quite candidly, what is going to be an industry that will be larger than tobacco as an agricultural commodity, as you and I know it. So we're excited for the future. There are three things that I want to touch on here tonight that I see Zilis really, I see us pushing the envelope as it relates to the future and the vision. The first is in and around the plant itself. So when you think about hemp, all of us talk about CBD and which is an amazing compound. We're just really beginning to learn what cannabidiol can do. But the fact of the matter is, guys, there's so much more. There's over 100 therapeutic phytocannabinoids that are found in this plant. And so we just have started tapping into it, of course, with our CBG. Now we're moving into R&R, right? And beginning to understand what CBN can do, beginning to tap into Ultra Rev, our CBDV and THCV combination. And of course, Bliss, which is CBC. And I encourage you, by the way, if you've not Googled CBC health benefits, I want you to do so. I'm not going to say anything else. Just Google it, okay? And tell me if you don't believe that's something you and your family should be on daily. Literally for the rest of your life. So we're beginning to tap into those areas of the cannabinoids. But what's also interesting is that I would estimate around 95% of the plant, what's available is not being used. So right now we're potentiating the health benefits, but what's so available that we haven't even tapped into are all of the other components of the plant from the fiber perspective, right? So I want you to think about this, right? Think about I don't have one here, but think about a plastic water bottle, right? How damaging is a plastic water bottle to the earth, with billions and billions of plastic water bottles filling landfills every day. Well, imagine a hemp-based water bottle that is completely biodegradable. I want you to think about the ability to insulate your home, okay, with fibers that come from the hemp plant. Or maybe think about the ability to replace the concrete that basically is the foundation of your home, your driveway, the streets in your cities and towns. Imagine those being made from hemp, knowing that they naturally will degrade and not harm the environment, right? See, hemp is a phytoremediator. What that means is hemp basically replenishes the soil within which that it's grown. And so we're just now beginning to tap into all these different areas. Hal and Lisa, what I love about that, when I think about Zilis, and Lisa, you were involved in a previous business that is what I would call more of a legacy type company. When you think about a business that has the ability to be here for your children and also your grandchildren, paying residual income literally for the next 5 and 6 decades, that excites me. So we want to continue to push that envelope to be leaders in all of those areas and to continue to bring the team together, right? The experts, if you will, because guys, I'm not an expert in hemp plastics, right? That's not my thing, but we have members of our team that are. And so it's Google-esque, if you will, from that vantage point, and it's going to present opportunities to our leaders that are far beyond anything we've ever experienced. There will come a day we will look back and think, we'll almost kind of chuckle and think, oh my goodness, how silly was it that we're so fired up about, quote, CBD, right? Because we're gonna look back on it and think, oh my gosh, man, that was just the beginning, if you will. It was basically the door opening to an entire universe of opportunity that comes from this incredible.
Wow.
Guys, if you can't catch just a little bit of the spark of this fire that's going to go over the world, just with that right there, it's just amazing what we have in our future.
Absolutely. And Stephen, I mean, most of us really can't conceive of being able to profit from any of the things that you described. And so I'm so grateful that you have stayed the course, despite legal battles, despite challenges with, products and compounds and pandemics, that you have stayed true to your vision of helping people create a platform of residual income that changed my life as a nurse. I tried 13 years and was not really that successful in it. And you put something together in Zilis. We've got a lot of new people on the line tonight. So I would love for you to talk about your desire to help people overcome the challenges of creating income for themselves as well.
Well, look, let me begin, if I may. By a show of hands, how many of you guys have been involved in network marketing before, even if you've just dabbled? Okay, look at the hands going on around the group. So here's the thing, guys, and Lisa, this is true for you. If you hadn't have gone through that experience, you wouldn't be here. Meaning that you prepared yourself, right, for where you are as Zilis because you went through all of those experiences. And I did the same thing. My first experience in network marketing started in 1996. Now that's a long time ago, right? Some of you guys I think most of us were around in 1996. I'm not sure, but I was a sophomore in college, and I got involved in a network marketing company that was a huge company. And man, when I saw the vision, I could see it plain as day. I knew that I was going to become a network marketing millionaire, right? I just knew it. And then of course I went out there and I started calling on my friends and family, and then I got a dose of reality, right? Because I just knew my friends and I hand selected my friends and family that I knew for a fact would see the vision. I just knew they would, because they were entrepreneurial, they were smart people, whatever. And I quickly got that dose of reality that no, just because you see it doesn't mean they will. I joke about this. I actually spoke to this gentleman the day before yesterday. So my freshman dorm mate in college, okay, so imagine you're going to college, your freshman dorm roommate, right? Like this is one of your best friends in your whole life, okay? I'm in his wedding. He's in my wedding. I'm the godfather to his children, all this kind of thing. Super smart guy. He's the very first person I call because who do we typically contact? We call the person, people that are closest to us, right? And he's very smart. I called him. Now you got to understand, I'm still in college. He's already out. He's got this, quote, cush job, so to speak. So I go to his office with my sponsor. And we sit down, we show him the plan. I'm so excited, right? I barely even can sit in my seat. Not only does he not join, he laughs at the opportunity, right? And when he does this, it floored me. Like I didn't even know how do you respond to that, right? And I couldn't believe it. I felt embarrassed because my sponsor was there. And I told my sponsor all these great things about my buddy and how he was definitely going to join, all that kind of thing. And anyway, so we're talking almost 25 years ago. So if you fast forward over time, when I kind of processed that experience and I realized, all right, here's the deal. One thing that I will never do, I will never give that individual the satisfaction of quitting. I will never quit, right? And there were many times I wanted to quit. Guys, listen, you can want to quit 10,000 times, and that's okay. But what matters is that you never actually do, right? Because I wanted to so bad. But every time I thought about quitting, I saw his face. I'm like, I'm not giving him that satisfaction. I won't do it. And so over time, as things progressed, I told him one day, we were having breakfast. I said, one day I'm going to hire, he's a very smart guy, as I mentioned. I said, one day I'm going to hire you to run my finances, right? And we were sitting, Hal and Lisa, we were in Memphis at the, what was the little cafe, I can't recall, a little breakfast place right there on Poplar Avenue in Memphis. And he laughs or whatever, and I'm like, no, one day you're going to work for me and run my finances, right? And so this is probably 15 years ago. So anyway, I kept moving, I kept going, I kept doing my thing. Of course, he did as well, right? Down the corporate route. And in the beginning of the time, I was struggling, couldn't even pay the bills. I even went out and started cleaning swimming pools for a living just to try to make ends meet in the early days. And I stayed with it. I wouldn't quit. I stayed dedicated to my personal growth. I stayed dedicated to my activity knowledge. I stayed dedicated to mentoring under leaders that were where I wanted to be. And I stayed teachable and I listened to what they had to say. And here's the irony of the whole story. About 2 years ago, guess what happened? I hired Brian, okay? And he came to work for me. And he said, when he came to work, the point is that you're gonna have people along the way, okay, that are going to try to steal your dream. And it doesn't mean that they want to steal your dream. When you approach someone with this business, so often you challenge their paradigm. A paradigm basically is the way we see the world, right? So if we have a certain paradigm, if we think that this thing over here means this and this thing over here means that, if someone comes and challenges that for you, it's difficult to process, right? So if you have a friend or a family member that thinks that, hey, go to school, right? Get a good job, rise through the ranks, right? So you can retire with benefits. When you bring an entrepreneurial, venture to them, it can challenge them. Or if you have someone that believes that network marketing is a pyramid because they've heard that from someone else, that's their paradigm. When you bring that to them, you have to understand sometimes you're challenging their view of the world, right? And so what you have to do is just be willing to stay the course. You believe in what you believe in and you stay with it. Now, I will say this, let them motivate you. I'm telling you, there were many times that I was ready to throw the towel in. I would not quit. There was no way in the world I was going to give my buddy satisfaction of me throwing that towel in. Does that make sense? So I just encourage you to think about as you move down your road, if you will, you're going to encourage or to encounter a lot of, the people that the dream giver, if you will, would call them the dream stealers, so to speak, the people that are going to attempt to take that dream from you. But man, just don't let it happen. Because guys, if you're willing to see the journey through, so often, I think sometimes that we promote, like you, Hal and Lisa, we're promoting the top recruiters this month and people doing a great job, and that sort of thing. There are some people though that are on the phone tonight or the webinar that hear that and they think, man, God, I'll get why I'm not on the top 25 or top 10. How come I'm not there? Listen, guys, be very aware of comparing yourself to other people. Okay. In this business, you're going to have a lot of this. You're going to have ups where, my goodness, man, everything you touch turns to gold. I mean, literally everyone you talk to buys a gold pack. I mean, you can't lose. And then there's going to be other times where you're like, my goodness, I can't close a door. You know what I'm saying? As the joke goes, you feel lower than a pregnant ant. And that's pretty low. Okay, right? So just understand you're going to go through some of those ups and downs. The key is just sticking with it and just not stopping and not quitting along the way.
Well, Stephen, you had talked about your vision, and you said that there were 3 points that you wanted to emphasize, and you started with the plant. did you cover all 3 points that you
No,
wanted?
that's number one. So number two, okay, is network marketing itself as a business model. So obviously I'm a huge fan of network marketing, MLM. People call it a pyramid thing. You know, it's funny how people call this a pyramid. And when you really think about it, the biggest pyramid in the world is corporate America. Because, I mean, think about it. How many CEOs are there? One, right? In our company, there's one CEO. And then down there, we go into the VP level, and I think we have 3 VPs, I believe. And then I think from that point in time, we have like 6 or 7 directors. And then we go down to managers, and then we go down to the work, right? So it goes like this. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You know, corporate America provides opportunity for people, provides a steady paycheck, that sort of thing. I think the problem I have with corporate America, and I tell our employees this, you will never become financially free working for Zilis, right? It's not going to happen. It's not the way that the corporate model is built. So I encourage our employees, even, right? Like, go have your own business, not a self-employed business, but a B quadrant business, to borrow the term from Robert Kiyosaki. Have something that you're building on the side, right? Because your side gig can one day replace your full-time gig. And that's what many of you obviously on the phone are doing. And so, so I see the industry of network marketing in a very unique light. What I think is very interesting, Hal and Lisa, is COVID and how COVID is going to impact network marketing. So while I've been a big, huge fan of the industry, obviously for 25 years, this is what I've done my entire career. While COVID was a challenge, and guys, it was a challenge and still is, and it should not be underestimated. COVID, for some people, they get COVID, no big deal. Other people, they get it, it's a serious deal. It can be life-threatening, right? So I don't recommend that any of us, and this is not a political statement in any way, but I do recommend that all of us respect it, right? You know, in life, guys, most things in life, we just need to respect. And if we respect them, we're probably going to be okay. And COVID is no different. So I just want to put that out there. But here's what I want you to think about. So network marketing pre-COVID was already booming, growing between 30 and 40% a year, okay? But now COVID comes along. And what COVID has done, it's been a disruptor, okay? And there's, every once in every few decades, there's a major disruptor that comes along that takes those paradigms we have, the walls of our belief, and either it shatters the walls or it closes them in or whatever. In this case, I believe what COVID is going to do, it's going to change the way that we think about the way we work. It's going to change the way that we think about a single source of income, okay? It's going to change the way that millions and millions of people think about their small business. I mean, guys, just imagine you're a restaurant owner, okay? You're a salon owner. You're a business of this type or that type, and the government says you can't open. And you go, but I'm good to open. I'm fine. Everyone's healthy. No, you can't open. In other words, you cannot generate revenue at all. Maybe a week, maybe a month, whatever. But the bottom line at the end of the day, what do? Because you still have employees. I mean, I can't even imagine. We have, roughly, 100 employees. I can't imagine having to make the decision that there's no revenue whatsoever, no sales, right? Do we pay our employees? Now we would. By the way, one thing I'm very proud of, Hal and Lisa, we didn't furlough one person. We didn't lay off one employee. We didn't downsize anyone. We didn't decrease one salary. And the reason we didn't is because I knew this is temporary, right? While the rest of the world is freaking out, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't freak out. I refused to buy into the media, right? And thankfully, obviously that was the right decision. Now we're hiring. We've actually increased our staff by around 20%. But the point is, guys, because a lot of really good people are available right now. But the point is, you just have to be willing to see through, okay, what the world wants you to listen to, what they want you to believe, what the media wants you to listen to, what they want you to believe. Listen, there's a roaring 2020s that is coming, okay, and it's going to be huge. Our world, as we know it, is going to rebound out of this like crazy. We're going to come out like caged lions, right? Like we just want to get out and go. We just want to live our life. We want to pursue our dreams. We just want to feel normal, right? So one of the biggest winners out of that, because there's going to be winners and losers, one of the biggest winners is going to be network marketing. Guys, think about it. I mean, who would have ever thought about the term pandemic proof? I never in my entire life thought about the word pandemic proof. Is your business pandemic proof, right? But the fact of the matter is, that's a real deal now, right? So what all of us are going to think about and going to feel is, okay, is my income safe? And if it's not safe, should I create something else that is safe, right? In addition to my regular job, my regular business, whatever. So guys, you're going to have people that, I mean, I'm talking large percentages of your contacts that would not have been interested before that are going to be very interested in the new world that we live in today. So when you hear the word again, new normal, it is a new normal. But as you heard me say on the tours, that doesn't mean what the media wants you to think. It's a new normal that's better, okay? So a lot of folks you may have talked to before that maybe have turned their nose up, or maybe they wouldn't be open or, you know, interested. Guess what? They're going to be interested today. So Lisa and Al, I see network marketing going from a steady rise, and I see the industry, and I'll call it direct selling, home-based business. I see it doing this because of the new reality that we live in today.
Awesome. What's number 3, Stephen?
Number 3? Okay. This is my favorite. Is paying it forward. Paying it forward. So some of you, most of you probably know the story of Zilis and the inspiration. I didn't start the company or begin Zilis because we wanted to be the CEO. But I honestly, I did not want to be an employee of a company. And I mean, you got to remember, guys, I spent 20 plus years in, you know, as a leader, you know what I'm saying? Working from home and that sort of thing. So the idea of starting a company and having employees and having an office and all those things. I mean, tomorrow morning, I'll be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. Like, what was I thinking, right? But in all sincerity, guys, and I didn't start Zilis for one reason only, but the thing that more than anything else, I believe network marketing is the purest. I believe it is the kindest. It is the most authentic business model in the world. I truly believe that. And that's not a Zilis. We don't own that. That's not just Zilis. But because why? Because when you think about it, it's like it's a volunteer, it's like a church. No one, you guys aren't here because you don't have to be here, right? I mean, like, you know, for example, Dr. Todd, he has employees in his practice. They have to show up on Monday morning, right? If they don't show up, Houston, we will have a problem. Is that fair? I mean, they have to be there. None of you have to be here. You're here because you want to be here. And it's a community. And that's what I think is so awesome. So when you look at what we create here, we have this almost bubble. I've called it for years. And, you know, it's this environment that we build and we create together where as a family, you know, we create this barrier between ourselves and the rest of the world. Okay. Now, again, I'm not being Pollyanna. What I'm saying is we create this safety net. Okay. I believe that network marketing is the noblest of professions in the entire world. Right? So with that being said, what I feel, if you think about network marketing, I believe network marketing is the ultimate pay it forward vehicle. Because let's think about Hal and Lisa, right? They're presidential ambassadors. They're incredible leaders. If they want to go diamond, they cannot go diamond by themselves. They can't sell enough. They can't sponsor enough. They can't recruit enough. They have to engage their team. They have to go down into their group and they have to lift others, right, to get where they want to go. And you have to do the same thing. So if you want to go from area ambassador to regional, you have to lift others up to area to get to regional. You want to go national, you have to lift others to regional to make national. So my point is, I think our business already has that DNA. Then you add in the entire pay it forward concept, whether it be our Vitamin Angels initiative or the Patriot program. So to me, Lisa, the third component to Zilis that I can't even, it gives me chills to even think about it, honestly, goosebumps. I believe we have the capability, and guys, it sounds so much like a cliche, but it's the truth. We have the capability to change the world. We have the opportunity to impact our first responders, our veterans, right? Our active military. We have the ability to save millions and millions of newborn lives through our partnership with Vitamin Angels. And what's crazy about it is, who knows where it goes? When you think about the idea of paying it forward, if you've seen the movie, and by the way, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. The movie Pay It Forward, right? It came out 15 years ago. That idea duplicates and can literally reach every person in the world. And I believe we have a chance to do that. So, where it goes from here, I don't know. We'll see. I just believe if we trust our hearts and we follow God's direction for this company and we trust in him, I just believe that we'll get where we need to be.
Wow.
That is
what a,
that is beautiful.
I think I join you in getting a little emotional about that whole thing. I mean, I think many of us do. And then when you go to try to talk in the moment, it's a challenge. So grateful for that. And what we obviously have seen is in individuals' lives and in families, as we've paid forward with the gifts we've been given and seen others do the same, you just see people rise. You do. And you see the connectedness and the paying it forward. I mean, you've been there for us. You personally have been there for Lisa and I. And, we try to do our best to make it a point to be there for our team, as in the same way. And we just keep paying it forward. And we have seen our team do the same thing. And, we just, it's an incredible thing. And we continue to go and grow. So
How you're doing it now. Mm-hmm. Guys, listen, it's a lot easier to start a call like this than it is to continue one. Okay. Meaning you might get an inspiration. I'm going to have a team call. Yeah, great. Let's do a team call. And it's fine the first week. Second week, all good. Third week, pretty good. Week 12, week 25, not so easy. Okay. So Hal and Lisa, I applaud you for, and I'm serious about this, I applaud you for remaining steadfast, because again, I said this to kick it off. The world needs more people like the two of you. And guys, we have to understand, we are we have the opportunity. It doesn't mean, by the way, someone has to sign up, because they don't. Zilis is not for everyone, right? Amway's looking for some good people, so we got to feed a few their way. No, I shouldn't have said that, but I couldn't. But no, in all sincerity, you might be a beacon of light to someone, a beacon of positivity, a beacon of hope, even if you show the plan and they say no. You might encourage someone to pursue a dream in their heart that's different than Zilis, right? But it might be the way in which you carry yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you handle if they tell you no. Just have faith, right? There's more than anything else. Just, if there's anything I want you to take from me, guys, I'm telling you, I got faith pouring out of every orifice in my body. I know where we're going. I don't necessarily know exactly, who's going to do what and what piece is going to fit there. And I don't need to, right? I don't need to. With COVID, I'm incredibly encouraged that our business, I mean, we were already we were looking, upward, right? Dude, COVID has taken our trajectory from here and lifted it this way. Okay. But here's the deal though, that doesn't mean overnight. It doesn't mean overnight. And that's one of the number one challenges for entrepreneurs. We're impatient by our nature. Heck, guys, that's why we're entrepreneurs. Is that fair? I mean, when do you guys want to go diamond? Now or later?
Now.
Right. And that's part of again, you should feel that way. Okay. And every one of you on this phone should feel that way for your next rank. I feel that way for the company as far as the benchmarks we have. But at the same time, though, we also have to realize and understand that, yes, we do feel that way. Okay. But we also have to understand that we take a deep breath. Okay. And we move forward. And we do it in a way where we understand that we're going to get there. It doesn't We want it to happen overnight for sure. And there are times it will, by the way. There are times you're going to run and it's like, oh my gosh, amazing. And bam, someone goes area ambassador in a week. I mean, I think about, for example, Susan Welch. I see Susan there on Zoom. So I don't know if they're with you, Susan, but Susan just rocketed out of the gate. Amazing job, incredible. And you're going to see that. And then you're going to see other folks that will take longer. And that's okay, right? The moral to the story is, guys, we keep moving. One foot in front of the other. We don't stop. We don't quit. And by the way, we don't change. Here's a big key for you. I want you to write this down. You don't act different when you have the most amazing day that you could even imagine. Like everything's working for you. You're knocking the cover off the ball at every turn. You still do the same thing. You keep moving and you don't change. And then, by the way, the opposite's true. When you have one of those down days, you keep moving. You don't change. So whether you have a huge win or you feel, again, lower than a pregnant ant, you don't change. You keep doing it. And why do you do it? Al and Lisa, you do it because the true joy is not in winning. The true joy is in the journey. You know what I'm saying? That's the real joy, is in the doing of the thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not accomplished. Listen, when you get to your goals, let me let you in on a little secret. You're going to get to goals in this business. It could be $10,000 a month. It could be debt freedom. It could be giving goals you have. Maybe you have a dream and a desire to give $10,000 a month to your church. You may have a desire to buy a certain home for your family, a vacation home, a certain car, put your grandkids in college, whatever. You're going to get to a place in this business at a certain point where you accomplish a lot of these goals you have. And what's ironic is you're going to go, man, that doesn't feel as good as I thought it was going to. The point is, it's about the journey. It's about growth, right? What does the Bible say, Hal? From glory to glory. So if we continue to focus on growing from one point of growth and reaching this, and which is awesome, this should be celebrated, right? The point is we don't stop. We don't look at, oh, look at me, I've gotten here, great, look how great I am. We go, no, I got here and this is awesome. And maybe I take a breather, because I probably should, right? I should take a breath and appreciate what we've been able to do. But now that's where I see Zilis. All this stuff we've done is awesome. Come on, guys. Does anybody on this webinar think that we've even scratched the surface of our potential? None of you feel that way. No one does. I know for a fact we haven't, right? So while I'm grateful for where we are, I just know we have so much more.
Stephen,
that was extra credit, by the way.
Thank
awesome.
You. Hey,
Thank you.
One more thing. We were with you in Evansville, Indiana on the CEO tour, and Hal had asked you about the mission of the company. And I don't know if you remember this, but you went into that building and you delivered the most inspirational overview of Zilis. Yeah. What people think it is, but what it really is. Do you mind restating that?
No, of course. Let me just tell you, we were at the Starbucks and we were coming around the drive-through, and we were halfway between the other side of the building and where the window is. We were halfway right there. So I remember exactly where I was. I remember the temperature. I remember the smell in the air. I remember every bit of it. So what happened, guys, is Hal shared something with me that Zilis had meant to him. And it was something, Hal and I, we were boys from the time we met. It was a college football connection and just different things. And a matter of fact, Hal, I still recall when I met you in the elevator in Indianapolis in Millville.
Absolutely. I tried to get you to call the Hogs and you wouldn't do it because you wanted to sing Boomer Sooner is what you wanted to do.
Something along those lines. But no, I don't forget much. But anyway, so he shared something with me, and we were going over to the courtyard there in Evansville. And Angela, you were there. I remember walking up and you were there at the table. And so anyway, so we're going to the meeting, and he said something, and you know how you have those moments like light bulbs? When he shared this story with me, it hit me. People talk about Zilis is the pay it forward company. Zilis is a CBD company. Zilis is an MLM. And while it's true that we do all those things and we use those vehicles and those tools and whatnot, right, to, to operate the business, at the end of the day, guys, we're freedom more than anything else. And I even hear myself say that. I think, okay, you're freedom. Okay, what does that mean? That sounds like a commercial, right? Okay, fine. I'll buy the skepticism on that. But if you think about it, if you are someone that is, if you're tied down to a credit card debt and you join Zilis and make enough money to pay off that credit card, it's freedom. If you're a single mom that is just looking to make an extra $1,000 a month to be able to separate yourself off of dependency of someone else, or, get yourself free from a second job or whatever, it's freedom, right? If you hate your job and you're able to go full time, that is freedom. And so it can mean so many different things. Or how, here's another one. If you're someone who's hooked on opioids and you can't shake them, and you get on this product and you find that the desire for opioids is no longer, it's freedom. So guys, I would suggest that at the, and again, I say this, I understand if you're new on the phone tonight, you might hear that and think, oh, come on, man, that's kind of a line. I get that. I'm fine with that. If you feel that way, here's my challenge to you. Stick around a little longer, okay? Stick around a little longer and see how you feel in a few weeks down the road. The more you get plugged in, the more you get around just the whole Zilis family, because guys, we truly have something that has the opportunity to create freedom in many lives. And I can tell you, for me, I feel incredibly humbled, and I feel the feeling of fulfillment. Life's purpose is a very powerful feeling, right? And I don't think any of us would argue with the fact that finding a life purpose doesn't involve what you're doing for yourself. If you find your real life's purpose, you're finding something that's going to serve others. And I'm excited. I want to take this vision of freedom. I want to take it around the world. I want to take it to every city and town in the US. I want to take it to every country in Europe, every country in Latin America, nonstop, right? And I want to just pour ourselves out, empty every fiber of our being, every ounce of our energy, leave it all on the field, to use the sporting analogy.
Wow.
Well, Stephen, we do have some people from Latin America on the phone tonight. So I want to shout out to our
Awesome.
Latin American Spanish speaking team members and those who are just kind of listening in. Stephen, I think we have some guests on the line as well.
Okay.
So
if you're a guest, you got more than you bargained for. So, hey, that's what happens if you ask a network to talk, just so you know. So.
Well, you're so eloquently communicate what we love the most about Zilis, and just your undying passion, you and Angie, your vision, your energy, just undying consistency. We thank you for that, Stephen.
Yeah.
Let me share something with you guys. So we don't thank you for the kind words. Listen, we don't, guys, listen, don't underestimate the impact you're going to have on others around you. Okay. Even if you're not paying attention, meaning that others around you are going to hear you. Okay. And it could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be a grandchild, it could be a family member, an employee, friend, whatever. So my 8-year-old, right, she keeps painting all these messages, and she does all of it on her own. Right, so check this out. So she brings this into my office just the other day. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is her message, and she does it on her own. Right. Wow. Now you'll notice there's a few misspellings inside the of the mural. Right. Grit. Give it your all. Redo if necessary. Right. Ignore giving up. And then what does she say?
Take the time to do it right.
Take the time to do it right. Right. And so she brings these to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's 8. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't sit in here when I'm on call. She's not sitting there taking notes, right? Much as I would love it if she would. That's not happening. Hello. But, I'll go in there and try to get her to go to bed, and we'll have a battle. But my point is, Don't underestimate the impact you're going to have, the influence you'll have, right? If you yourself focus on you, there's an old saying, if you take care of, or no, what's the old saying? You take care of me and I'll take care of you. I like Jim Rohn's philosophy on that. He says, no. Let me take care of me for you, and then you take care of you for me, right? Because if I take care of me for you, and you take care of you for me, we're good, sustainable. So stay focused on your growth, stay focused on moving yourself forward, and whatever that is, pursuing your dream, that thing that will not stop burning inside you. It's not going to stop, guys. If you have this thing in you that wants more than what the world says you're supposed to be happy with, it's not going to stop. I got news for you. You can try to ignore it, try to put it down, try to suppress it. If you have something beating in your heart that says, I am meant to do more than the world says should be enough, do not let go. Okay? Do not let go, because you can try to ignore it. All you're doing is putting it off. Right? You can face it now or 5 or 10 years down the road, and none of us are getting younger. So let's get it done. Knock it out now.
Awesome, Stephen. Well, January 9th in the U.S., what can you tell us about that?
We are going to knock the cover off the ball. Okay. So on January 9th, so listen, guys, there are times in business, and every business is like this. There are times so people think a business just does this, right? Oh yeah, we just continue to grow. No, it goes like this: down, up, right? This major crazy, kind of journey, if you will. But there are times where you'll see a business will do something, and literally in one day, the business will go from this level, and all of a sudden will go boom, right? And then it will go along, and it will go along for months at a time, maybe longer, whatever. And then all of a sudden, boom. Okay. On January 9th, Zilis will go from this trajectory that we're on now, and it will go like this, bam, literally in a day. You can't afford to miss it. You absolutely cannot afford to miss it if you're here in the US. And by the way, it's free. Hello, who doesn't love free? It's a free event, guys. Register yourself, register your whole downline. By the way, register your guests, right? Now, we will baptize them by fire, as we have for many of our guests tonight. But the fact of the matter is, they'll be excited when it's all said and done. So just encourage you to get registered. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for taking time out. I know this is still a holiday for you and for your family.
You got to be at work at 8 in. I know you work out before that. And you got to work out.
Honestly, it was a nice break. I mean, the girls we've had a great holiday, but it's been intense. With 3 girls in the house for sure. But listen, guys, I want to thank you for allowing me to join. Let's give Hal and Lisa another big, huge Zoom applause for being incredible leaders. Hal and Lisa, I appreciate you. I really do. I thank you guys for being awesome and excited for the future.
Thank you for being on,
Thank you so much
Stephen.
for joining us tonight, and just a wonderful call. We'll
have you back soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Team, stay on after Stephen goes and does what he does at home. Night, guys.
Awesome.
All right.
Wow. So you guys, this is honestly one of the best, most focused communications I've seen from Stephen, and just sharing his vision and passion. And he was calm and very, I think he was sharing from his heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I hope that you guys really understand what we have our hands on right now.
And the kind of leadership that he provides. I love it when we get him. And this is where he is, I think, at his best. Like he said, he didn't plan on being a CEO. That's not his thing. He's learning how to do it. He's doing well. But just being a leader, a mentor, giving back what he's received from others, and having a heart to be who he is. And y'all, I know I felt it tonight, and I believe all of you did. So let's talk for a moment about the January 9th, yes, and also a couple of other little things, and then we'll open it up here real quick. So January 9th, if you've not registered for the event, just go into your back office and do so. If you don't know how to do that, check with your upline team, sponsors, and people like that. It's not hard to do, but get registered and invite people to be there. There will be a launch of product that will change Zilis forever, and it will cause us very quickly and over long term to change our income and lives significantly. It just will. It's a whole new set of products that will really change everything. So you don't want to miss that. About that date. So all of that. Then the other thing is, for those of us, we've seen a huge increase overall in the company with the stimulus package. And what we want to say to you is, it truly has never been easier to introduce people, to get them interested in getting on a product immediately and potentially looking at owning their own business, whether they ever build it or not, with the stimulus package. But I will tell you, what Stephen talked about, and we were going to have him do it, but it was too much detail really. So I'll just hit on it myself. And that is that when we enroll people in the stimulus package and they get that first line of product, we want to have them, encourage them to do two things. One would be, since they can buy anything at that moment as they enroll, any of our products at wholesale, to go ahead and buy a few more products for themselves. It's not about upselling them. It's about getting the best result for the next 30 to 45 days. Now, some can't afford it. We don't want to press that, but it's important to go ahead and do that, especially with this first order being paid, the shipping being paid for by Stephen Zilis. But the second, and really from a business standpoint, super important, is to promote strongly the benefits of going ahead and signing up for auto ship for next month with at least a minimum to replace what they're going to be rid of by taking the products in the first month. So we want to get them on a reasonable auto ship as quickly as possible. Obviously, ideally 50 business volume, but ideally 100 business volume, so that they can start earning some free product and star rewards. But what you will see as far as your business goes, not necessarily immediately, but as time goes by, you will see with that auto ship, you will see your volume rising. And that's where Stephen said, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But in this business, slow growth means steady, long-term residual income. That's what that means. And the auto ship program, now with the star rewards, is what is the strength and the backbone of every single one of our business incomes long-term. So please value your business and the opportunity for brand new customers or new ambassadors at whatever level to go ahead and commit to that auto ship in a way that's best for them, and work with them. If you don't fully understand the benefits, as an ambassador for yourself and your own business, you need to dig in and learn how to do that. And reach upline to your team support to really understand the value of this auto ship program. And if you have been on auto ship and you're getting free products from Zilis, for sure one of the benefits for people, and that is free products from Zilis. So